I don't like this thing! And here's what I'm doing with it!
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the funniest Seinfeld moment from every season. For this list, we're looking at the moments that had us laughing the most from every season of the show about nothing. Have a burning need to share your favorite Seinfeld moment? Comment below. Season 1, Coin Flip, The Robbery. Back in Season 1, George was a real estate agent. This came in handy when Jerry decides to move after his apartment was broken into.
Is that, other apartment still available?
George sets up a viewing at a prospective place and Jerry decides he'll take it. When George brings the paperwork for Jerry to sign, he reveals that if Jerry has any second thoughts, he would take the apartment.
If you're having second thoughts, if you didn't want it, don't worry about it because, I could take it,
You could take it.
After a brief back and forth, the two decide to flip a coin for it. This is a great early example of George's pettiness. Instead of outright saying he'd like the apartment, he feigns modesty by saying he'll only take it if Jerry doesn't want it. What kills us is George trying to weasel his way in through chance.
All right, now you call it in the air.
No catching.
No.
All right, flip it. Heads.
Tails.
No, it hit the table. It hit the table.
So what?
Interference! You can't count that! Come on, are you crazy?
It doesn't work out for George here, and in true Seinfeld fashion, neither gets the apartment.
These are the guys who turned this place down. Can you believe it? Diane gave me the greatest back rub today. She's a masseuse.
Season 2, Waiting to Use the Phone, The Chinese Restaurant. While waiting for a table at a Chinese restaurant, George desperately needs to make a phone call. Since this is before cell phones were widely available, his only option is a payphone. Unfortunately, it's being used by a man who has no concern for George's needs.
Excuse me, are you going to be much longer? I have to make a very important call.
George becomes increasingly frustrated each time he's rebuffed by the man. When the phone is finally free, a woman grabs it before George.
Excuse me, I was waiting here.
Where? I didn't see you.
I've been standing here for the last 10 minutes.
I won't be long.
That's not the point. The point is, I was here first.
Well, if you were here first, you'd be holding the phone.
His over-the-top reaction to this is what makes this a top moment from Season 2. He's quick to view this transgression as a breakdown of societal structures instead of realizing the lady didn't know George was waiting to use the phone.
You know, we're living in a society. We're supposed to act in a civilized way. Does she care? No.
It's gold. Season 3, Car Thief, The Alternate Side. Unfortunately, Jerry's car is stolen. While mulling his options on how to handle the situation, he decides to cancel his car phone subscription. George suggests he call the car phone instead.
Wait a minute, call the car phone, see what happens.
Are you serious?
Yeah, go ahead, call.
I don't even know if I remember the number. What do I say if he picks up?
What makes this moment stand out is how frank the car thief is. When asked by Jerry outright if he stole Jerry's car, he admits it. When Jerry asks if he can have the car back, the thief says he's gonna keep it.
What are you gonna do with it?
I don't know. Drive around?
Then can I have it back?
No, I'm gonna keep it.
It only gets funnier when Kramer asks to speak to the thief. Instead of getting on the guy's case about stealing his friend's car, he'd like a pair of brown gloves returned to him.
Listen, could you mail those to me? Or bring them by my building. It's 129 West 81st Street.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. Here's Jerry.
Things become more outlandish as Jerry ends the call and the thief complains about when the last time Jerry got a tune-up was.
I gotta go. Drive carefully.
Hey, Jerry, when's the last time you had a tune-up? Because I can't find the...
There's no pleasing some people. Season 4, I'm Out, the contest. After George is caught by his mother treating his body like it was an amusement park, he enters a contest along with Elaine, Jerry, and Kramer to see who can remain master of their domain the longest.
How are we gonna monitor this thing?
Well, obviously, we all know each other very well. I'm sure we'll all feel comfortable within the confines of the honor system. All right, come on. Get.
Predictably, Kramer is the first to fall, and it is spectacular. Not only is this arguably the funniest moment from season 4, it's also one of Kramer's best entrances. Everything works in this moment's favor. The costuming, Kramer's in yellow and the other three are in red, the way Kramer plunks his money on the counter, and the audience reaction.
I'm out.
Jerry, Elaine, and George are simply left in disbelief. It was an early exit from the contest. But what an exit.
Well, it was that woman across the street. You know, you better be careful, buddy. She's gonna get you next.
And then there were 3.
Season 5, Faking It, The Mango. It's no secret that Jerry has a high opinion of himself, especially of his performance abilities in the bedroom. It could be why this moment has us dying. At Monk's, George shares with Jerry the trouble he's been having with Karen below the equator.
You know, nobody knows what to do. You just close your eyes, you hope for the best. I really think they're happy if you just make an effort.
I don't know. Last time I got the tap.
When George adamantly denies that Karen could be faking orgasms, Elaine questions how he would know. He shoots back if she ever faked and is surprised when she admits to doing so occasionally. Jerry can't believe it.
And the guy never knows?
Yeah,
How can he not know that?
because I was good.
I guess after that many beers, he's probably a little groggy anyway.
After he takes a jab at her, she admits to faking with him. Jerry's world is completely torn apart by this revelation.
That whole thing, the whole production, it was all an act.
Not bad, huh?
What about the breathing, the panting, the moaning, the screaming?
Fake, 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 fake.
I'm stunned.
This moment eats away at Jerry to the point where he begs Elaine for another chance in bed with her only to bungle it.
It's all George's fault. All that talk about impotence, it got to me.
Ah, hubris. Season 6, Ménage à Trois, The Switch. The grass is always greener. At least that's how Jerry feels when he discovers Sandy's roommate actually laughs at his jokes instead of saying, "That's funny." When he seeks out George's advice on how to handle the situation, George tells him the roommate switch cannot be done.
Do you realize in the entire history of Western civilization, no one has successfully accomplished the roommate switch? In the Middle Ages, you could get locked up for even suggesting it.
Jerry's superficiality won't stop him from figuring out a way. After the two of them pull an all-nighter, George finally has a breakthrough. He surmises that suggesting a ménage à trois with the roommates will allow Jerry to successfully pull off the switch. When Jerry brings up the idea to Sandy, both she and Laura are into it. You'd think this would be great, but as Jerry rants, it's something he's not ready for.
I'd have to grow a mustache and get all kinds of robes and lotions and... I'd need a new bedspread, new curtains. I'd have to get thick carpeting and weirdo lighting. Of course, I'd have to get new friends. I'd have to get orgy friends. No, I'm not ready for it.
This twist just makes the whole thing funnier. Season 7, No Soup for You, The Soup Nazi. This must be some really good soup.
I finally got a chance to go there the other day, and I tell you this, you will be stunned.
Stunned by soup?
You can't eat this soup standing up, your knees buckle.
After a new soup stand opens up, Jerry, Elaine, and George decide to go there for lunch. While Jerry raves about how good the soup is, he warns that the owner is a little temperamental about the ordering process. If you don't follow the instructions properly, you're denied service.
Why? What happens if you don't order right?
He yells and you don't get your soup.
What?
Just follow the ordering procedure and you will be fine.
When it's George's turn to order, it goes well until he realizes he didn't get any bread. Jerry advises him to just drop it, but George insists. For his trouble, he's kicked out.
Bread, $2 extra.
$2, but everyone in front of me got free bread.
You want bread?
Yes, please.
$3. What? No soup for you.
His look over to Jerry garners no sympathy and emotions for him to get out. George's utter helplessness at how the situation unfolds is what makes this a top Season 7 moment. Season 8, Jerk Store, The Comeback. While at a meeting, George helps himself to so much shrimp that he unknowingly sets up his coworker Riley with a dynamite zinger.
Hey, George, the ocean called. They're running out of shrimp.
On his drive later in the day, George comes up with the perfect comeback. When he tells Jerry, Elaine, and Kramer his response, they're more confused than anything. They even offer suggestions for comebacks, but George is having none of it.
I'm going with Jerk Store. Jerk Store is the line. Jerk Store. Yes!
What makes this moment are the extreme lengths George goes to recreate the conditions for Riley to insult him again. Of course, when George finally does get the chance, things do not go to plan.
Well, the Jerk Store called. They're running out of you.
What's the difference? You're their all-time bestseller.
It's almost as though George lives for humiliation, and that is what keeps us laughing. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Season 9, A Festivus for the Rest of Us, The Strike. George thinks he's figured out the perfect way to weasel out of giving his coworkers Christmas presents.
A donation has been made in your name to the Human Fund. What is that?
Made it up.
The Human Fund. Money for people.
What do you think?
It has a certain understated stupidity.
He presents them with cards stating that he made a humanitarian donation in their name. Naturally, this comes back to bite him when his boss discovers the supposed humanitarian organization was fake. To get out of it, he reveals he was afraid of being persecuted because he doesn't celebrate Christmas, but rather Festivus.
I gave out the fake card because, I don't really celebrate Christmas. I celebrate Festivus.
To prove that he's not lying, he invites Kruger to the Festivus dinner. This has had such an impact on pop culture that people have actually started to celebrate it every December 23rd. We love this moment so much because no matter how hard he tries, George cannot escape his past.
Until you pin me, George, Festivus is not over.
Oh, please, somebody stop this.
Let's rumble!
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.